My name is Craig Foley. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer for Lear Realty Partners, and I'm joined here with Brett Sarno, who is the construction supervisor for the development. Jerry and Brett, Dad and son, are the design build team. Tell us a little bit about, we're in Unit 56 right now, which is a unit that was built in, when,
2015, 2016.
Yeah. And now it's for resale, so there are resale opportunities here as well, which is great to see.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the way you guys build. It's really interesting. You know, up until this last building code cycle, builders weren't required to go to 2x6 construction. 2x4 construction used to be the way that you could always do the minimal to meet the code. Why did they go from 2x4 to 2x6, Brett? What's the advantage of that?
Well, for the energy to keep it in and to make more insulation on the exterior walls. We've been doing 2x6 ever since we've been building. My dad, when I was a young kid, built 2x6 frames. He always got more insulation in the homes, and it's the way we've been doing it all along. And then to put on top, we've gotten even better with the 2x6 because we found new insulation that's called cellulose insulation that's put in under pressure, and it fills it up to even a greater R value.
Yeah. So that 2 inches of extra insulation makes a huge difference in terms of the building envelope. And then on top of that, you're doing something on the exterior of the building, if I understand it right?
Right.
So like a polyiso exterior insulation as well?
Yes, in between the 2x6 frame and the siding, we use 1 inch, an R value of 5 that wraps the whole house like a blanket.
Yeah.
And it just makes the house tighter, which is another energy code.
Yeah.
And it just keeps it warmer. Keeps it warmer in the wintertime and cooler in the summertime.
Yeah. So you've got a super insulated building here, which lowers the operating cost for the homeowners, makes for a very comfortable home to live in. So many people, when I ask them, if I'm working with a new buyer, one of the things I ask them is, what is it that you didn't like about some of the previous homes that you lived in? And inevitably, Brett, one of the things that comes up is, we always had a room that in the summer was way too hot and in the winter was way too cold. You don't get that with these super insulated buildings, right?
Right.
So there are a lot of misperceptions in the marketplace, even with real estate pros, about energy efficiency, and buildings can be too tight and, proper ventilation. But even when I was listening to the presidential debate a couple of weeks ago, even someone as powerful as the President of the United States had a misperception, it seems to me. He was complaining at the end of the debate about tiny windows as a complaint for energy efficiency. But when I look here at Unit 56 and all of your units, you've got these big, beautiful, huge windows, and it's energy efficient. So how do you do that? What's the secret sauce here to make this work?
It's really using passive solar energy.
Okay.
And you in the wintertime, the glass allows the sunlight to come in and heat up the home, heats up the walls, heats up the floor. Even at night, the heat comes out of the floor, out of the walls, and keeps the house warm, and you use less energy trying to heat the house. In the summertime, we use trees around the house with the leaves. That shades it, along with just natural shades in the house, and you don't have to use the AC as much, and the house stays cool.
Oh, that's great. Your dad was talking about that in art, how you actually move the trees for shading. Now that makes all kinds of sense for me. It's this passive solar design.
Right.
That's great. So here we are in the office for DeerPath in the community. And one of the things that we were talking about earlier was misperceptions in the real estate community. When I teach the green designation, I get agents that say, oh, buildings can be too tight. And they could be too tight if you don't have proper ventilation. But here's an example, this piece that we have right here, of making sure that buildings are properly ventilated. This is an energy recovery ventilation system. Explain to us how this works, Brett.
Really, this takes the stale air out of the house brings it out and exits the house, and it brings fresh air in. And as it comes in, it goes through a couple different filters and cleans it and brings the clean air into the home.
That's incredible. So this is a technology, I mean, we talk about this, you're hearing about this in the news, right? Getting schools back online in the midst of COVID. It seems like there's going to need to be some funding for proper ventilation in these commercial buildings, right? In offices that we work in. And this is a technology that hasn't been used very much in homes, but now it's easy to use, it's cost effective, and we're bringing in a fresh supply of fresh filtered air coming into the house and the stale air being taken out. That's what they talk about when we talk about proper ventilation, right? I mean,
Right, exactly. These are great. These are great in the new homes, and it's going to be even better, like you talk about, in schools and in office buildings.
Yeah.
It'll be a great thing.
Yeah. So this is just one more example of the work that Deer Path Farms has been doing since the 90s, way ahead of what the building code has been requiring to make sure that these homes are sustainable for the homeowners that live here. They're more energy efficient, they're properly ventilated, lower operating costs, fresh air, healthy environment to live in, and so much more comfortable. This is, they're so much ahead of the game. It's really fantastic to see.